Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Sacred Sounds. Discover the magical power of singing, speaking, and storytelling by great Ted Andrews. Welcome, YouTube. Peace, peace. Happy Friday. Woo! Yes! We are here. We made it. All right, so we pick up in the new chapter, chapter 6, one of my favorite. Welcome. Been a very busy week, and we got to give thanks for that, that we could make it here to the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. I'm Master Fitness Trainer Uriel. Welcome to the live book reading, and it will be in the playlist when it's complete. This is episode 21. We start at page 140 at the top. All right. Adding magic to the story. The first step to turning a normal storytelling into a magical one is to learn as much about the story and its images as possible. Work with the symbology. How have those images and symbols been used in the past? What are they representative of? What is the secret behind the story? What does it teach? Try and discover as many significant aspects of the story as you can. Write them down. These significant aspects will help you find ways to align this story more appropriately to the events of your own life. Meditate upon the story. Perform a type of mythical immersion by placing yourself in the events of the story and allow yourself to go through them as you would in a normal daydream. Keep in mind that guided imagery, such as that which is found in tales and myths, can lead us to those more archetypal forces behind the imagery. This kind of magical journey assists us in merging our finite minds with the infinite mind of the universe. This mythical immersion is sometimes called a magical journey. It is a variation of the previously mentioned pathworking technique of the Kabbalah. In this technique, the imagery of the story is adapted to appear as if you are going on a journey into the circumstances of the story itself. You allow yourself to relax and then to visualize yourself going on this magical journey, one which places you within the events of the story as one of its characters. For example, we could use the tale of Lazan and the Argonauts as a basis for the magical journey by simply substituting ourselves for Jason or any other character within the tale. When we create a magical journey through the storytelling process, we create a series of images and actions that we play out within our mind while in a relaxed, altered state of consciousness. The relaxed state enables us to activate greater inner energies and awareness. The magical journey will resonate with us at all levels to which we can respond. Peace. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here in this magical Friday. Happy book reading. Welcome to the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. This is a masterful book we're reading and diving into. Thank you so much for being here while it's live. I will put it in a playlist when it's complete. We're pushing towards 600 subs on this channel where we read books. And so I put them in the playlist, and then you'll just tap on the book on my page and it'll read the entire book full. So thank you so much. In magical storytelling, we're in the page 141 in the middle. In magical storytelling, we utilize the imagination in a concentrated, controlled, and directed manner in order to elicit specific responses, either in our own lives or the lives of our audience. Thus, it is important to understand the effects of the symbols and images that you utilize within your stories. The imagination is one of our greatest assets. It can be used to enhance and augment our lives. It is the directing of specific images in a controlled process, meditation, path working, guided journeys, creative visualization, and magical storytelling to manifest specific effects within our own physical life circumstances. Make sure you use your own imagination in the myths, tales, and stories you use. Adapt them, construct them to meet your particular needs. A degree of spontaneity is vital. Through the years, I have led many people through guided meditations and magical stories. And no matter how many times I have used a particular meditation, it never comes out the same way twice. There are always variations and adaptations according to what the audience responses were prior to the meditative work. Yes, there is a basic outline, but within the confines of that outline, there must be a flexibility to adjust it to more fully meet the needs of the audience. Before you use a guided imagery, meditation, or a magical storytelling, know exactly what kind of responses the audience can expect to experience as a result of encountering the images of your story while in an altered state. If you have placed yourself in a position of being the meditation facilitator, you must keep in mind the responsibility you have to the other participants. Yes. Let's put a pin right here. The responsibility of the storyteller. Now, this is very key, right? Because when we're thinking about it, it's the words we're using, it's the scenery, backdrops, and characters. And this is why I've always loved the good guys. You know, I've never cared too much about the bad guys at all. The good guys are where it's at because we're thinking about longevity in our spirit. You know, you always want your spirit to be lighthearted. And so when you emanate that to your audience, it puts them in a comfort mode and, like he's saying, in an altered state so that they can accept the message. And so that's why even doing this channel of books and readings, ambiance matters. The peace matters so that the message can get across. That's why we read these books, man. We've read some amazing books on this channel. Go back and check them out. And it keeps getting better, right? That's why we're here. We're almost at 600 subs, man. And I started this channel with in book reading with less than 30. You can do it. And that's what I do this for as well, to show you you can do it. And I put you in a state where you can click on the playlist and you're doing it with me. If you have the book of any of those books, which a lot of them are hard to find, but we read the information to you and you can get it because you're in a peaceful state. You don't have any problems, any worries, any doubts. So thank you for being here. The audience matters. The responsibility of this information. It is a good idea to let them know what they can expect as a result of performing the exercise. They should be informed of possible effects of the images you will use so that they can choose whether or not to participate. The meditation facilitator and the magical storyteller are teachers, and as such, is a responsibility to know the hows and whys and the effects of what you involve your audience or students in. There are many out in the public sector teaching some aspect of metaphysics with little more experience than having read a book or two and learned a simple meditation technique. They do not always have the depth of knowledge nor the sensitivity to recognize how the audience will respond. They can lead individuals into experiences that are disruptive and possibly even traumatizing. Learning as much as possible about the symbology of the story and about symbology in general will help you to use it more responsibly and more effectively. Your knowledge will empower the storytelling process. Learn about the archetypal symbols behind the imagery of everyday life. Perform the storytelling or meditation for yourself alone and do it often so that you can experience the effects personally before you involve others. Guided imagery and active imagination, as applied through the magical storytelling process, do produce altered states of consciousness in which the archetypal energies operating behind and through the imagery will emerge. Control is the key to working with the process. Although the storytelling may seem fluid and spontaneous, it should be practiced and prepared for on all levels. Only with control can the images within the myths and stories take the individual into the sacred areas of their beings to facilitate transformations. It is the personal inner reality which is of significance. And if we are to experience our innermost reality through magical storytelling in a creative and healthy manner, we must maintain control. Before you use magical storytelling as a meditative experience, know exactly, step by step, what you wish to have happen on this journey. Construct and adapt the tale so that the outcome will meet your own unique purpose. Initially, stick to it. You will find that as you gain experience, you will become more spontaneous. Spontaneity is vital, but control is even more vital. Experiment with gesture and voice before you ever use it with others. Concentrate upon the words you use within the story. Learn to use them and not waste them. Have them ready at hand. Each time you practice the story, visualize it having the appropriate effects upon the audience. With each practice, you create a magical thought form that will give your storytelling even greater magic when actually used. The use of visualization and creative imagination enables the magical storyteller to be more than someone who merely relates events. Through the energy of the story, you project vivid mental pictures that dynamically resonate with the audience. Stress the key images within the story. Any oral message involves both verbal and nonverbal aspects. Both have great importance, but that which is nonverbal can transcend the spoken or written. This includes body motion and posture gestures, and the amount of eye contact, the ability to create an empathetic response also depends partially on breath control, the ability to project, the rate and pause of the speech, its intangibility, and the vocal quality. This book cannot teach you all those aspects, but they must be considered in the magical storytelling process. Most colleges and adult education centers teach classes on speech and oral interpretation, which can assist you in developing these aspects even more fully. Most libraries also have storytelling groups, who can provide assistance within these aspects. You know, one of my great teachers and mentors in college, Professor Rich, my speech. Oh, teacher. Oh, and diction. Oh, wow. I had him for two classes, um, communications 300 level classes, and voice and diction and speech classes. At the beginning of class, we would always do a breathing technique for our diaphragm, right? And so we would we would put our hands on our belly and we go. And then from the breathing, we would do on the exhale, we would say our name or say hi and do things like that. But we would do that at the beginning of each class. Professor Rich at Monmouth University, one of the great doctors, man, great man. And he was teaching us the breath control and diaphragmatic breathing. We're talking about 2001, 2002. Today I'm what? 16,981. Getting closer to the 17,000. Yes. All right, here we go. What differentiates the magical storyteller from the average person who tells a story is that the former has delved into the hidden significances of the story imagery. The magical storyteller understands the significance of the power of the voice and its ability to be used to resonate with deeper levels of another's psyche. The magical storyteller understands that everything said, every gesture made, every aspect of the storytelling process is a tool for invoking energy and for eliciting an altered state of consciousness that can be utilized for purposes other than mere entertainment. Everything within the storytelling process is imbued with significance. The storytelling then becomes a creative manifestation of the power of the word. Let's keep going, shall we? Page 144 at the bottom. Thank you for the likes and subs. We are pushing towards 600. Yay! Thank you so much. Highest heart love. Peace to all the book lovers community, all our friends and family. Yes, no grifting, just loving and reading. Magical musical journeys. Yes. Happy Friday. Read from Sacred Sounds. Discover the magical power of singing, speaking, and storytelling. Magic and healing through words and music. Magical musical journey. Music and tones can facilitate the process of magical storytelling. They can help us enter into new levels of consciousness. Tones trigger dramatic effects within the body and consciousness. If we learn to combine the tones with specific imagery, we can begin to touch new levels and dimensions of life. We can use a combination of tones and images to access other planes of awareness. Musical tones can be incorporated into meditational work to facilitate a deeper response within the consciousness. Music is now being composed specifically to elicit effects that correspond to the guided imagery. The music is chosen because it resonates with the innate energy of the imagery. They reinforce each other, magnifying the effects. When music is added in the proper manner to the images we are creating, the effects are accelerated and amplified, just as an artist can illustrate the contents of a book, adding color and value to it. The magical storyteller can utilize tones to enhance the value of developmental process, finding tones and combinations of tones to release even greater energies. The metaphysics the metaphysician becomes an artist. He or she paints in musical tones. This method of tone painting was common in more ancient times, especially in the recital of poetry, designed to create a mantra of litany or litany effect. Each stanza of the poem was often recited on the same tone. Sometimes three different tones were used, one for the introduction, one for the main body, and another for the conclusion. In some societies, a drum was used to set the tone and rhythm of the poem and or story. In more modern times, this process of tone painting can be seen in the movies, on TV, and within theaters. The musical score is used to enhance the action upon the screen or stage. It involves the audience more actively drawing them into the experience. Mhm. This is what the new age genre of music is leading to. It can be used to enhance many works. Many people are beginning to explore music and incorporate it into their meditation groups. Unfortunately, some are not as cognizant of the effects, and they often choose the music simply because it is labeled New Age, and not because it suits the imagery. In cases such as this, it will interfere with uh, accessing deeper levels of consciousness. It is distracting, and the effects of the imagery within the meditational work is severely limited. We have all experienced grade B movies where the musical score just did not fit the action upon the screen. It is tremendously distracting. If we employ music that fits, if we relate tones to the specific activities of the magical journey, the effects are amplified. It stimulates deeper emotions and greater associations on all levels of the psyche. The following illustrations and descriptions portray some of the spiritual and emotional responses to musical harmony. These can be applied to tone painting in the magical storytelling process. We simply match the tone with the emotional and spiritual response depicted within the story. We'll pause right here. Continue back. In the sixth chapter, The Art of Magical Storytelling, when we reconvene with Sacred Sounds by the great master Ted Andrews. Magic and healing through words and music. Such a beautiful, beautiful book and reading. I'm your moderator, narrator, Uriel Riley. Highest heart, love, and honor. Thank you for being here. I will put some of the vocabulary and in the description, and then also the reading when it's finished uploading and processing. I will put it in the playlist. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the likes, subs, highest heart, love, and honor. Thank you for being here in this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. Highest heart, love. I want you to have a wonderful Friday. Glass of love water. Cheers to all our friends and family. All those solar returns. Wow. Yes. Oh, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Got a lot of work to do. So I will be busy for the rest of the day. Highest heart, love. I love you. Mm. Mm. I love you. I love you. I love you. Some love water for the people. I wish you all have a happy Friday. Yes, golden healer and orange calcite. Crystallization is happening. Yeah, we are doing raising the consciousness level, especially with this book. And we did it again with the harmonic vibrational manual. Feel free to order and feel free to contact your local library and ask for them to carry it. This is for the children and for the future. You know, we have so many great historians and masters of the history, arts of our people. And so the harmonic vibrational manual is where we're going, how we get to harmony, based on the principles of healing sound. We did it again. Yes. I love you. I love, love, love you. Peace, peace. No, I don't have a donation, but I don't grift. Um, uh, Donations are well accepted. And I hit the PayPal. Thank you so much. Highest heart, love, and honor. Uriel Riley at gmail.com. Thank you so much. The service, so appreciate the donation. Highest heart, love. Y'all have a wonderful Friday. Peace, peace. Live from the light.